Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of That's a Wrap, What's Next? Before we get into the video, I just have a few little disclaimers to make. So as you may have noticed, I haven't released an episode since 2024. The episode that you're about to listen to was recorded at the very end of 2024. So some things that are saying like last year are actually talking about 2023. Also, this episode contains some topics around mental health, so please just be wary and take care of yourself and always reach out to somebody if you need. It's very, very important, especially in our industry. Creative brains are a whole other realm of brain, in my opinion. But I hope you enjoy the episode and thanks for watching. Hey everybody, welcome to That's a Wrap, What's Next? A podcast episode with Madeleine Wighton. I'm very, very excited. This has been actually a long time coming now, I feel. We've been discussing this for a while. I don't even know when you approached, or I don't even remember.
I think I had it on my to-do list to approach you, and then you approached me. Manifestation.
Insane. So we're here now. Thanks for coming. Madeleine Wighton, actor, filmmaker, singer, dancer, coach, silly goose, fun auntie, mermaid, is here today. So very excited. We have a lot of questions, a lot of things to discuss, and so we're going to discuss them. First thing, I don't know why, but I know we just met, but I just feel like you're the person to discuss this with.
Yes.
Is, you know how everyone has some sort of like name for their, like, I don't want to say fan base, I don't think it's fans, but like for their followers. You know how everyone's like,
yes.
Like, what do I say for this? That's a Rappians? Like,
That's a Rappians. I've decided I'm going to call my fans my Goose Gang.
I love that. And we will get more into the Goose Gang later because I'm so curious about it. Okay.
That's a Rappians.
That's a Rappians. I don't know.
Yeah.
Does that have a ring?
The Rapolas.
What's next does...
Yeah, I like it.
Ooh.
Either or.
That's up for debate. I was going to say leave a comment. I don't know if you can do that on Spotify, but if you're on YouTube, leave a comment. Let's jump right in. Question Town. Okay. So for those that don't know, Madeleine has been creating Bernice, a comedy short film. Mm-hmm. I haven't seen it, which is why I'm questioning everything I say right now. I am praying for the chance to see it. And she's going to tell us about it. Yeah. So my question leading up to this is, the creation of Bernice, can you explain to everybody what it is, including me, because I've only seen bits and bobs, and can you tell us how it's come to life?
Of course. So Bernice is my debut short film. It's a very wholesome rom-com thriller vibe 12-minute short. It's about Bernice, who's a burglar. She breaks into people's homes wearing her pink balaclava. She rides on her pink bike wearing her disco ball helmet. She breaks into people's homes and steals nothing but their hearts. She tidies up a little bit, fixes the little broken chair you've got in the corner, whatever. What is your dying plants? And leaves bright pink sticky notes with words of affirmations on them. Pretty much that change people's lives because they follow Bernice's little encouragements and their lives are changed for the better.
That sounds very wholesome.
And then she's beaten at her own game. Dun, dun, dun. What happens? You'll have to watch it to find out.
I didn't expect a plot twist. Oh my gosh.
But yeah, so how did that come to fruition? So I'm an actor predominantly, and no one was casting me in a lead role on Netflix. So I decided to write my own lead role so I could see myself up on screen. And it was very exciting, very challenging. But yeah, so I wrote it last year, at the start of last year, and filmed it midway last year. And it came out this year. And it's been on the festival circuit, doing pretty well, actually.
Yes, I've heard you've gotten some awards.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you. People like it, and that's really encouraging. It's like very vulnerable and scary. Like every time I watch it, I'm like, oh, here we go. Because it's like vulnerable to put your art out there. Yeah. And I'm like, will people like it? But then I'm like, actually, no, I like it. And that's all that really matters.
Yes.
And yeah, so that happened. And my main goals behind it was to see myself on screen in a lead role, slay, and learn. Because I'd never written a short film that was then created. I've never produced a short film, so I co-produced with Demi Louise, who's previously been on the pod.
Demi's been here.
We love Demi.
We do.
And I'd never directed for screen before either. So I like co-directed with my cinematographer.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
So obviously there's lots with just me on screen. So he was directing those parts, but I got to direct actors in other sections and just like do the whole directing thing in like pre-production, post-production.
Gosh.
And yeah.
Oh, and Aisha was editor.
Yeah,
and she
Aisha
was also on the podcast.
And Kalish was composer.
And Kalish, it's all connected. Tiny little world.
We love them. They were all really, really helpful and taught me a lot. Yeah. And I just wanted to like take back control from the industry and yeah, be in control, because sometimes you can feel like, oh, woe is me, nothing's happening. But it was like really great to have lots of creative fulfillment happening on my own terms. Yeah. Great. I feel like that's literally the motto of this entire podcast. So you're a dream guest to have here. So thanks for being here. You say I'm a dream guest? Yeah. No, you're just the dream.
Oh, I'm just
a
dream.
dream.
Oh, whoa. This is crazy. All right. Well, I feel like you only wrote this last year.
Yes.
I feel like it's great how quick this came into fruition. Did you feel like, you said it was your first time in a lot of these roles, so how did you sort of make this happen in the span of a year?
I had a great coach who helped me through that, Izzy Stevens of Indie Spunk. So that was really encouraging. And then I got Demi on board through recommendations from other people, and she really helped me. I would just ask her so many questions, like, what the heck is this? What the heck is that? And she'd always be so like gracious and gentle and patient with all my questions. And yeah, I think just building that team, setting myself like deadlines, otherwise it wouldn't have happened. And I worked my butt off. Probably I could have taken a bit more time, but I was like, let's just get it done. And yeah.
There is something interesting about the excitement of a project. And I think, you're saying you could always do more. I feel like you can, like, it could be never ending.
Yes.
I feel like it's good to go off of the excitement and kind of let it be maybe a tiny bit messy. Because like you're saying, it's being received very well, despite you probably still noticing little bits and pieces you want to change.
It's very far from perfect. But that's okay.
It is okay. I think it is.
Yeah.
Considering that a lot of this was a debut for you, and you did have a great team, but I'm knowing every time someone makes a film, there's going to be challenges. So were there any significant challenges?
Yeah, the main challenge for me was severe imposter syndrome and just like fear and self-doubt. Just like sometimes it was okay, and then other times my mindset was just like not the best. And so I did a lot of work on that, on just letting the perfectionism go, really embracing like a beginner's mindset so that I was free to ask questions and not feel embarrassed about having zero idea what I was doing, and also trusting that actually I did know more than I realized just from being an actor in front of the camera. I knew more of what was going on behind the scenes than I realized. And yeah, just lots of mindset work, building that courage muscle, being vulnerable and really leaning into the discomfort of this, like being outside of my comfort zone, feeling icky and vulnerable, like can feel so gross, but really like shifting that mindset, being like, actually, no, this is because I am outside of my comfort zone. It's because I'm leveling up. It's because I'm challenging myself. I'm doing new things, which is letting me grow and learn things and flourish in different ways that I hadn't before.
Yeah, I loved what you said about courage muscle. I feel like there's so many things you think you can't control, like those sorts of feelings.
Yes.
But, and I guess, is it it's part of the brain, is, I don't know what part, brain science, but like it is something that can grow. So I love that way of looking at it. And I think that's so important, because there's so many people I know that have said, I want to do this, but I don't know where to start. And then it's just procrastination for years and years.
Yes.
You know?
And that procrastination is fear.
Yeah.
And just wanting to stay safe, feeling safe.
Yeah. Which is also understandable. But I think if you're really passionate about what you want to do, the fear shouldn't be the thing that should stop.
Yeah. Yeah. Put yourself out there. Your voice needs to be heard.
It does. It does.
It's scary, but it's worth it. It's worth it.
Yeah. I feel that with the producing of the play right now, it's like, I don't know, there's so many people. Do you think you're a people pleaser at all? Because that's my thing. That's the struggle for me.
Definitely sometimes.
Yeah.
Yes, but also working on that too. Yeah, it's constant.
Yeah.
It's constant.
Constant growth. Yeah.
We're women. Of course we're people pleasers.
Very true.
So I feel like I've heard a lot about this film because of the marketing, like seeing it on socials and stuff. Probably also because of the connection to the people involved.
Yes.
But were you in charge of marketing and posting and what's that looking like? Because I feel like it's Instagram and, well, social media in general is just this crazy world to navigate now. It's such a good tool though. But yeah, how have you navigated that aspect?
I like self-promotion is tricky and feels icky to do, and it's again like vulnerable, putting yourself out there, being like, hey, I made this thing, you might like it, but like no worries if not. But when I see other people promoting music they've made or a short film they've made, or they're trying to sell tickets to their show, I'm like, yes, get it. I'm cheering for you. That's great. Put yourself out there. And I don't feel like it's icky at all. I'm really like encouraged by that. So I had to, again, work on my mindset, shift that, and just be like, fuck it. Wait, can I say?
Yeah, you can
okay,
say.
I'm sorry. Fuck it. Put myself out there, put it out there, because I was excited about this project, and I'm allowed to be publicly excited about it too. And it was, lots of the promotion was to do with crowdfunding as well, which was a big whole thing in itself. And it is like a big team effort. And yeah, it's about everyone who's helped create this film, and I'm still so appreciative of all the people who donated, the whole team who worked on it. But yeah, just like getting over that hurdle of, oh, this feels icky, being like, actually no, my voice should be heard, let's put it out there, I'm excited about this film. And the seeing how it has affected people, like after they've seen the film, or like after a Q&A at a film festival, I've had some beautiful, really encouraging comments that like make me cry. Because they're like, this like made me feel so good. Anyway, it's just, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
Only because you have to be brave enough to put it out there in the first place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so good that you're getting so much good feedback for
it's
something
really
you
nice.
work so hard for. That's got to be the best
Yeah.
part of it.
Yeah.
I feel like it's also great motivation to keep doing it. Are you planning to do the next one? Something else?
Yes. Speaking of people pleasing, I'm currently working on a new script that an actor brought me. So she'll be the lead in this film, and
cool.
I'm like developing it with her, producing it with her. I'm like the Demi now, teaching her
wow.
how to produce, which is very exciting. Yeah, and I'll be directing it, making a little cameo in it as well. And yeah, it definitely fits in the Hopeful Goose world, which we'll talk about Hopeful Goose in a second. Hopeful Goose Creative. It's very like female led, about mental health. It's a dark comedy, very quirky. It's a good one.
I'm already very excited.
I'm excited.
I'm going to still soon have like a whole list of films for me to watch. Like, that'd be great. Well, yeah, let's jump into the Hopeful Goose.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can you tell us about, this is your coaching?
Yeah. So Hopeful Goose is like the big umbrella brand of it. Hopeful Goose Creative is my production company, which I produced Bernice under, and I'll also be producing this new film underneath it. But it's also what I do my coaching underneath. So I like relaunched my coaching business this year. I've been teaching singing for lots of years.
I also teach singing.
Do you?
Yeah, I teach it for Demi in her studio.
Oh my gosh, really?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Isn't it crazy?
Are you an MT girly?
I am.
Oh my gosh,
I am.
me too.
That's where I started, and then I
Me
kind of moved to
too.
film and
Me too.
stuff. Crazy.
We're twins.
Crazy.
So yeah, I like started out.
Except I'm not Italian, so
I used to
we
be.
can't
That's the whole thing. If you know, you know. I started teaching singing, and then within that, I was like, oh, I really love teaching the acting side of these songs. Like, what's the story we're telling? How do we feel? How do we want the other person to feel? How do we want the audience to feel? I loved that side. So then I like branched out a little bit into teaching acting, working on monologues with people, scene analysis, all that good stuff, working on scenes. And another thing that I loved within this singing teaching was talking about performance psychology and like nerves and what's actually getting in the way of us putting our best foot forward when we go to perform or when we're working on a piece. I studied.
I think we are the same person. I love both of those things too when I'm teaching singing.
Yes.
Like, yeah, I love it.
Yes. I studied psychology online during lockdown through UNSW.
Wow.
So I'm a hoe for psychology. I love like how our brains work. I'm very passionate about mental health. So then back to Hopeful Goose coaching, is what inspired me to launch as well mindset coaching this year for creatives.
That's awesome.
Which I'm so passionate about mental well-being, mental health in the arts. It's getting talked about a little bit more now, which is very exciting to see, but it's so important. The industry can be really hard. It is really hard.
It is.
But it can also be really wonderful, and life can actually be wonderful if we like work on our mindset and work on all the different things I love to yap about with clients, like perfectionism, imposter syndrome. It's all things that I've like worked through myself really throughout the years. Just all those things that can get in our way, like even self-belief. Like if you're not believing you should be cast in the role, then why are they going to cast you? And it's going to hinder you and stop you from doing your best work. So I'm really passionate about that. I'm not a psychologist. That's a disclaimer.
How much did you get to study through lockdown? Was it a whole
It was
degree?
a 2-year. It was a postgraduate certificate, diploma. I forget. At the time, I was like, yes, I'm going to train fully to be a clinical psychologist. But it actually made me fall in love with acting even more because it like really related to all my acting work as well, learning about humans and how we are designed. And Les Chantiri, the acting coach, he uses lots of like psychology and behavioral science in his tools he uses. And it was so funny. He would like talk about psychological studies that have been done. And I was like, I just looked at that last week in my studies. And it all like relates so much. But I love how I've been able to use this passion in my coaching. With my mindset coaching. It's really fun.
That does
and important. It's important,
fun.
guys.
So important.
Invest in yourself.
Yeah.
In your little brain.
Brain.
Our brains are like so powerful and so tricky.
I've been just discovering that over the past like 2-ish years. And it's just the difference from me like 2 years ago to now just in my brain. It's just crazy because I feel like you get stuck very easily thinking nothing will ever change in terms of your mindset, and you try something and it doesn't work the first time and I'm going to just hate life forever. Incorrect.
It's all lies. It's all lies, but they feel like truths. Like yeah,
it is hard to break through it, I think. But once you start seeing effects, you're like, oh wait, it's actually making a difference.
And there's lots of like practical tools you can be using.
I saw something on your story the other day and I clicked on the thing and you were like, oh, you clicked on my goose sticker thing. What was that about? And can you tell me more? Because I was like, let's talk about it.
Yes. So within all my coaching, musical theatre coaching, acting coaching, mindset coaching, and career coaching, I've just started coaching like TVC.
Oh, because you've been in plenty of them recently.
And I've like throughout the years from lots of mistakes and failures and learning, and then lots of like proved successes, I've designed this little formula about how to audition for TVCs. Because sometimes it feels like, they're just after the blonde girl, so why am I here? But like there's actually lots more in your control than you realize, and different things, different little sneaky tools I like to use. And I was like really like knuckling down on this formula just the other day, and I had a callback for a TVC and I crushed it, Jasmine.
Nice.
Because I was just like doing everything on this formula I had created, and I was like, that's probably one of the best auditions I've ever done.
Oh, that's great.
Like my DNA was all over that room. They were laughing. They loved it. It involved lots of like improvisation, and I just like followed the formula that I had created for myself or for my clients. If you want in on the secrets. And it was great. It paid off. I don't know if I booked it or not, but
making an impact in the room is what
I booked
matters.
the room.
Yeah,
that's for sure.
I like that. Is there, I know it's obviously part of your business, so you probably don't want to share a lot, but could you share with us maybe one part of your secret?
My secrets, there's so many things I could talk about. One thing for sure is that it's marketing. TVC is marketing. We're like selling a product or a service. And I think having those clear shifts within the text, those beat shifts of like before the product and after the product, and having like a really expressive face is helpful. I literally practice looking at myself in the mirror and like being like, okay, now be sad. Oh, is that authentic? Yes. Okay. Now be shocked and surprised, because they always require such like intricate little things, like the amount of scripts that I've read that says like, it's the widening of the eyes.
Yes.
I'm like, how do I actually do that and not look like a crazy person? Yeah. So literally just practicing. That's my secret.
Practice.
It's like really dorky, but I practice facial expressions in the mirror and make sure they look truthful.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to be a bad actor.
Yeah. And I feel like that is a weird line with TVCs, because you said you want it to be very expressive and very, but sometimes that can feel a bit forced.
Yes.
Yeah.
But you can find the balance of like being expressive but find the truth. But there's so many like fun tips and stuff I have about improv, because that's quite important as well. But you'll have to book a session to find out.
Yeah.
Invest a little bit of money to then get $1 million.
That sounds
the
great.
TVC.
$1 million? Awesome.
Well, it feels like it, some of those.
That's so good. And anyone that wants to sign up can do so on Madeleine's Instagram. I'll link
my website
below.
Whatever. Yeah.
Great. Okay.
Check me out.
Check her out, please.
Don't be a stranger. We'll have some fun.
Doing the coaching.
Yes.
I feel like when I teach, I feel like I always learn something from, I guess, from my student / myself. Like as you teach, you hear yourself say something and you're like, oh, this is
I'm a genius.
handy. Yeah. Like I'm gonna use this. Like, have you noticed changes in yourself from coaching and self-growth that?
Yeah. Another aspect of my coaching is career coaching as well, which I've also just launched, but it's really exciting. Like, we do a deep dive into the clients. It's specifically for actors. Deep dive into all their materials, like headshot, bio, website, even like how they're presenting on social media. And it really forced me to be like, wait, what's on the internet about me? Like, what do my casting profiles look like? Are they up to date? So, and I have this whole module thing I like to do. I call it the je ne sais quoi module. Like finding your uniqueness as an actor, as a human.
I feel like that word gets buzzed around so much, is what's your significant qualities. And I feel like anytime that's been mentioned, I just sit there like, I have no idea. But
you should book a session.
I want to book a session.
Let's do a je ne sais quoi session.
Can we please? But yeah, I feel like that is so good that you're doing that. How do you find that as, like, even if my friend said to me, what's my je ne sais quoi-ness, I wouldn't even know what to tell them, even though they're someone I see from the outside. So how do you see people from, you know what I mean? What lens are you looking through?
I have like this whole like worksheet you can do on your own, and then we can discuss it, or we can do it together. Like all different things, even things that one of the questions is, what makes you feel like you don't fit in the industry?
Ooh.
And that's often something that is actually very powerful for you, whether it's like, oh, I don't look a certain way. Maybe you have like a beautiful, unique nose or something. Yeah. Maybe that's going to make you stand out, because it's not just about like the acting side of it. I think it's all about who you are as a human being as well, and how can you like inject that into your acting, into the clothes you wear, into the way you show up in the world, in the way you show up on social media as well. Even like casting directors do check out your social media these days. Yeah.
It's crazy.
Just the way you hold yourself. I think it's a whole thing. How do you want to be viewed by the world, and are you doing that?
And that thing I keep wanting people to realize, and I definitely assume you do as well with your coaching, is that we're a business, even though we're an individual. It's like, so even if that's not how you want to be presented in personal life, knowing how you want to be presented in business life.
Yes.
I feel like that's significant.
Yeah. Because as an actor as well, you're selling yourself. Like that's the product. You're selling yourself. And how are you selling yourself? Yeah, there's so much stuff I keep private.
Yeah.
Like privacy is a thing. It's important. But yeah, put yourself out there in your special, unique way, I think. There's lots of power you can get from that as well. It's exciting.
You said, so you sing.
Yes.
What's your singing world like? Do you like to perform? I saw you performed.
Yeah,
recently.
yeah. So I studied musical theatre. So I am truly a musical theatre girl at heart. I grew up like dancing, and then acting was the last thing that came. But it's my favourite thing at the moment. Yeah. So musical theatre, more like soprano classical kind of thing. So like, I'm not cool enough for any of these like cool
The
pop
contemporary,
rock like musicals that I hear.
Me too. I see the auditions and I'm like,
Yeah,
Yeah.
not quite.
Yeah.
But yeah, that or like jazzy, cool vibes. And yeah, I did a little gig the other day and hoping to get into that a little bit more,
Yeah.
which like was so fun. It was the first time like doing the rehearsals before this gig. It was just like acoustic set in a like hotel. First time I had experienced flow as a singer.
Really?
Yes, because so much of my perfectionism shows up in singing.
Mm.
Whereas acting, I can be
Me
messy
too.
and free.
Yeah.
Yeah, acting, I'm like so imperfect and like whatever happens, happens, and that's exciting and I can let go. Whereas singing, still there's this perfectionism that comes in just because it was like one of the, I don't know, just from when I was younger, I really had a lot of issues. No. But like perfectionism
I
and
feel
like
like singing
needing to be
lessons
great.
is some weird therapy thing. Like even when I grew up taking lessons, yeah, there was always some weird block, and I feel like it's
Yes.
only now doing the teaching that I'm starting to learn to unblock
Yes.
my singing. Yeah.
Yeah.
We do talk about music on this podcast as well, so this
Yes.
can be a bigger segment than anticipated.
Of course, of
Yeah.
course. One thing that I love, I can like see the perfectionism in my students sometimes. And so really working on that is
Yeah.
so great and so beneficial. And then you can see them just like let go and be more present in the moment. And of course their voice like opens up. It's like really exciting. And then they're like, oh, I've never made that sound before. Or like, wow, did you hear that? I'm like, I sure did. It's really exciting. Yeah, I think something that really helped my perfectionism just recently like be completely released. It was a duo gig with my friend and he was like super chill, like the very opposite. So I was like, okay, let's try and embrace his level, his energy a little bit. And like I had to learn like 40 songs.
40?
Yeah.
Whoa.
It was a 4-hour gig.
Whoa, that's
So
long for
So we learnt 4.
sustainability.
Yeah,
voice.
it
Yeah.
was. We had like little breaks, but it was actually easier than I thought it was going to be. I was like, I haven't sung like for that amount of time ever.
How long
really.
did it take you to learn 40 songs?
A while, but then there were some songs I was like, I'm doing harmony on this song, and I just made it up on the spot, which is like not something that I ever do. I'm always like, let's like notate this, write it on the sheet music, really note bash it out, figure it out. But there was that element of like, I'm not going to be able to learn 40 songs perfectly in time, so let's just really embrace letting go and having fun, because singing is fun. We're allowed to have fun. Yes.
Definitely.
Yes, that's a whole thing.
That is a whole thing. Oh gosh. Yeah. I feel like it's different with, I mean, acting there's technique, but also in singing it's like physical technique that
Yes.
you're monitoring plus the emotional aspect.
And you have to hit the note.
Yeah. Yeah. It's that whole juggling act, I feel.
Yeah.
And then I find I do my best when I tell myself, okay, just trust the techniques there, don't think about it.
Yeah.
But that's always the hardest to do.
Yes.
Because it's just like it comes back into your head really
Yes.
quickly.
I love teaching actors to sing as well, because when we, like, I teach them technique and stuff, of course, but then when we let go and they are simply focusing on the acting, on being the character, telling the story of the song, it really, everything opens up, and it's like a great experience for them.
Have you seen the Wicked movie yet?
No.
Oh my God. You have to.
I'm dying.
It's
I
so
really
good.
want to. I'm like trying not to
I
watch
had-
any of the spoilers.
Yeah,
or-
I had the highest expectations for it because obviously it's Wicked.
Yes.
And I feel like I've been hearing that they're going to do a movie for the last like 10 years. So very high expectations, and they were met. They were very much
Oh,
met.
good.
10 out of 10.
Yeah, I've only heard really great
Yeah.
things. I'm so excited.
It's really good. I'm excited for you to watch it.
I'm holding space
Yes, do.
for the lyrics. Defying gravity.
I saw that. That was really
So funny.
It's so good. Didn't Casting Networks post something like that? They posted Wicked
I've
affirmations
I've
or
seen
something.
it everywhere. It's so
Oh,
funny.
it's really good.
they're so sincere. It's so beautiful.
Well, speaking of films, what I love to know, I feel like it just really tells the story of a person of what films or theatre have kind of shaped you and your top favorites, that kind of thing.
Ooh. Probably Wicked if I had seen it. What have I seen recently? Oh, at Sydney Film Festival, I watched, which is probably my new favourite film. It's called My Old Ass.
Oh,
have you seen it?
Yeah, but controversial. I love it.
I loved it.
It made me emotional for sure.
Yes. So it stars Aubrey Plaza and Maisie Stella.
Yeah.
And I love both of them.
Me too.
Have you seen Nashville?
No.
Maisie and her sister are in Nashville. Anyway, My Old Ass, it's like just the type of films that I want to be making, like female-led, like so funny. I found it so funny.
I found like sections really funny and other sections not.
I
don't know.
I was
I don't know
weeping
why.
with laughter.
Really?
The Justin Bieber, that bit, I
think-
was weeping.
I was like half, yeah. I'm usually very all there for like weirdness, and I was there for that. I think maybe my mum was watching and she was like judging it, and so I was in that headspace of like half judging it with my mum and half enjoying it for myself.
Whereas I saw it at Sydney Film Festival at the State Theatre, like a theatre full of people. We were all just cacking. I was there with like these girls. It was great. And then, of course, weeping at the end.
Yes. Okay.
Because
the ending was. Yeah.
I love talking about grief in like through a comedic way. Like reel them in, pull them in, draw them in with the comedy, and then punch them in the gut.
Yeah.
I love that.
I give it credit for making me think about my life
a
lot. Like afterwards, it was just kind of the residue of the film was in my brain, which was great. Yeah. And the shots were stunning.
Yeah, it was.
I'm in this really weird position. Like I loved lots of it, and I also just really didn't like bits, and I don't know why.
That's okay. That's okay.
That's art.
Subjective.
Yeah.
But yeah, it very much inspired me I was like, I need to go live my life.
Yes.
I need to go live.
Exactly.
I might not be here tomorrow.
Oh, yeah.
The people I love might not be here tomorrow.
I
What?
hate it.
No spoilers, but
okay.
yeah, go live your life, guys.
Go live your life. Okay, so wait, then what's your favorite musical?
I don't know.
Don't know. That is actually, why did I even ask that? I feel like that is impossible to answer. I have
It
one.
is.
Mine's Matilda, but only because it's what got me into acting in the first place.
Yeah.
So it's that, but also it's a great show.
It
I
is.
feel like in comparison, like there's so many other shows.
I love like West Side Story. I love Mary Poppins. That's a dream role. I'd love to be Mary. I love She Loves Me. It's more of it's just like the most perfect little rom-com. And it's a soprano lead who's funny.
Yo.
The soprano, like all those classic musicals, the soprano's always like,
She's
oh,
like,
I'm nothing without a man. I'm so sad. I'm like, shut up. But she's funny.
That's cool. No, I haven't even
I
heard
like
that
being
one.
funny and singing high. Can someone write something for me, please?
So, yeah, you mentioned that with your coaching and just in your own general life that psychology and mental health is very important. That's also, I think, my most important life cause, at least at the moment. Like it always feels very like close to home when people talk about that sort of thing. So, and it's also incredibly important for acting. And they say if your acting skills are growing, it affects your life. And then if your life skills are growing, it affects your acting. So I feel like it's just really important to take care of our human brains.
Yeah.
So what kind of this year has been your mental health focuses? I think with Bernice, you were saying the imposter syndrome and that kind of thing, the confidence.
I've also just been really trying to live life more.
Yeah. Right.
And that in itself, like literally scheduling fun things to do. Like I could be doing admin till like 1 a.m. every night if I wanted to. And there's been times when I was doing that, definitely. But really trying to switch off and like love myself, look after myself. Because it's been a very tough year personally for me. And not everyone knows that and they don't need to, but yeah, really putting in the effort to look after myself, be kind to myself, do things that bring me joy, literally looking purposely for joy, whether that's like even this morning I went for a little walk and there was like all the frangipanis are falling and they smell so good. I just had a little walk along with one for a little while. I literally stopped to smell the roses and the jasmine right now. Oh, that's your name. I am just sniffing jasmine. No, all the flowers. It's like really grounding. And when you have that more sense of like, I'm okay, I'm here, I find myself auditioning better as well. Yeah. And one thing as well with Bernice, like the whole aim of that was to, well, make myself a role, learn stuff, but also just to spread a bit of love and kindness, because the world is so broken and messed up. Yeah, if you think about it too much, it can be very overwhelming and like paralyzing in a way. Everyone just needs a good hug and a cup of tea. But the film was dedicated to my friend who suicided a few years ago, who was also in the arts. And
wow, that's very beautiful.
It's, yeah, like there's just so much love in the film. So many, like, she's like writing these beautiful affirmations and words to people, and there's like so many words I still wish I could say to him. There's so much love I still have left to give him. That's like one of the beautiful things about grief, is like grief is love. And I just like want that for myself and for everyone, to just know that they're going to be okay, and that they are actually, you're doing so well. Like even if you don't feel like it, sometimes you're like, nothing's happening, I'm not where I want to be. You're actually where you're supposed to be, right here, right now. You're on time and you're doing great, and keep going, please. And if you are like struggling with your mental health, like please reach out to someone, surround yourself with people who love you and care for you, because you are more loved than you might realize, and there is always hope. I've been in very dark places myself, mental health wise, and I've been in that place where it feels like there's no hope. It's like so dark and scary, but there was hope. I just couldn't see it, but looking back I'm like, oh no, there definitely was. And it was all, everything's happening for a reason, and it's really hard, but do please reach out if you're struggling.
Definitely. What are the things across the years, or maybe even just this year, habit wise or thought-wise, that you've implemented that are helpful? Because you do see mental health stuff these days. It's like, love yourself, have time for yourself, and it's very generic, but I know everyone does like really specific things, and I feel like hearing each other's specific things can help inspire people to try something different, or so what are your specifics?
Smelling the roses, smelling jasmine. What else do I do to look after myself? Going for walks, mental health walks, exercising for like mental health. I do have an injury, a chronic injury, so that stopped me from exercising for a while, which was like really hard.
Crazy.
But I'm doing rehab now and it's getting better. Yay. Hopefully. Exercise. I love hanging out with my niece and nephews, like little children.
World's best auntie, is that what you were saying before?
Yes. Fun auntie. They call me, you're crazy, aren't you, Matt? Like, I know. Like their perspective is like of life is just so like wholesome and untainted, and it like really helps put everything into perspective, especially when life is hard. When I was going through some tough stuff this year, I would just like go hang out with them.
Cute.
And they're like such a great distraction too. But I love like getting out in nature, seeing the ocean, being in the sunshine.
I feel like kids keep
friends.
you so present.
Sorry, yeah.
That's like kids and dogs. I feel like are just so demanding of your time that that is great. Sorry.
They help you forget your worries for a little while. What other specific things? Stopping work at the end of the day, lighting a candle.
Okay.
Putting on the lamps and the fairy lights.
How do you... so like yesterday, for example. So I'm just doing a bunch of random bits and bobs in life, and it's very chaotic at the moment. But I'm trying to be more careful of myself so I don't burn out, because I've already burnt out too many times. And I was trying to say to myself, okay, do your work up until this time and then just stop. It's the end of the day, it's nighttime. But
it's hard.
I don't know. There's like the tension still in your body. There's the extra bits of stress, the random thoughts of like, oh wait, no, I forgot to do this part. Or like,
yes.
Oh, do you have that, or do you have a way of?
Sometimes I just keep working to midnight, but that's often on like a day that I've let myself sleep in, or I've gone to visit my niece and nephews that day, so I've like given myself a little bit of time off during the day, and then I I'm like, maybe I will work a little bit later. And because we love it too.
Yeah.
I don't know about you, but
Yeah,
I love
it.
my work. I could do admin all day, every day.
Same, which I don't know if that's...
I call it Madmin.
Madmin! Jasmine.
Jasmine, that works.
Just my name.
It's your
My
name.
name is admin.
Anyway,
That's okay.
Jasmine.
Jazz.
Jazz?
Jazz admin. Jazzed admin?
Jazzadman. Jazzadman.
We'll get
We'll
back
work
to you
on
on
it.
that. That's
Any suggestions, let us know. Yeah, so I think in the past I was definitely like working way too much. And that in itself was trying to distract myself from things, I think. And then when I realized that, I was like, oh, that's not good, is it? Distracting myself from bigger problems in my life. But no, I think always, because I have like a to-do list every day that always like ends up double the length by the end of the day, and I've only crossed off a few things. I'm like, oh well, I still sometimes I used to be like, oh, I haven't achieved anything, I must keep working, otherwise I'm not allowed to rest. But that's so wrong. You like, rest isn't something we need to like earn. It's just we deserve it from the get-go, because we're humans and we need it. And it's going to mean that we can approach our creativity with more freedom and more energy as well when we stop and rest. Whatever rest is helpful for you. It might be literally napping or
I've been watching
going on a hard 20k run. Not me.
Not me.
Never.
This week, I haven't even done this ever, except for like a movie marathon night, but I've watched, I think now 6 movies this week.
Right.
But tell me how, because I feel like I've been nonstop this week. But I have been saying, no, it's nighttime, or no, you're home for a bit, just relax.
Yes.
But yeah, I've somehow
good.
watched 6 films. I don't know how.
6 films.
And My Old Ass was one of them.
Oh, really?
And Wicked.
You need to watch My Old Ass in a room full of young women, I feel. Because it's that coming of age story too.
Yeah. I think myself, like, maybe 2 or 3 years ago would have appreciated it more than myself now, because now myself just has a bit more like film critique inside of me as well, so it's like that. I think emotionally I appreciated it. I don't know.
I feel that though sometimes, like, no, stop critiquing, just like enjoy the story.
Definitely that. What you were saying about nature and going out and walks and stuff, and it was actually that podcast episode I listened to yesterday, and she said that, and it shocked me, it said that, like, we as humans these days, obviously people have different lives, but the majority of people, you're kind of never outside, or you're outside for like an hour a day, not even. And then I thought about it, and for the most part, unless I'm actively, you know, having a pool day or going on a hike, other than that, even just in a normal like working day, I'm probably not outside for more than an hour. And that's scary to me. Especially because, you know, back in the day, people were surviving outside. And, you know, I just thought that was crazy.
Interesting. And did they talk about the benefits of being outside?
Yeah, just the earthing, like connecting to nature, and that it centers the nervous system, all of that kind of thing. Which I agree, and you always feel better after you've been outside. Or at least I do. I love it.
I do.
I soak that up. I love the sun.
Just like a little walk around the block. Or I sit on my veranda a lot, which gets like full sun in the afternoon.
Maybe I need to do that. Yeah.
Do my workout there.
Crazy.
Do your workout there. Yeah. If you can.
I don't do a workout because
No, do your work.
My work.
Do your jazz abdomen out there.
My jazz abdomen, yeah. It's just going to be like a blob of gibberish. Yeah. No, I was going to say with the exercise, you have a chronic thing, but I discovered last year. 2 years ago. I have anaphylaxis to exercise.
What the heck?
So I've ended up like in the hospital a couple times from exercising.
From exercising?
Yeah.
I didn't know that was a thing.
Neither did
I'm so sorry.
No, that's okay.
Wait.
The option is that I have Telfast before I exercise, and I'm pretty much fine, which is the antihistamine in the Telfast.
Our bodies are so weird.
Yeah. But if I don't, sometimes I'll go on a walk and have the effects of, like, near the, like, I start having a reaction to walking.
Like you can't breathe?
Like, yeah, eventually, if it gets really bad, which is when the hospital stuff happens. Yeah. Otherwise, I get, like, welts sometimes, or, like...
From exercising?
Yeah, it's weird.
That's fascinating.
And it's also unpredictable. I went on, like, a 30-minute walk in the heat the other week when I was in the coast, and I was completely fine, and I didn't have Telfast or anything. And then sometimes I go on a brisk walk and I'm gone.
That's so fascinating.
So hopefully I grow out of that, because the only
amazing.
solution is to get like a shot once a month or something, and I don't particularly want a shot. I could, but yeah. So I relate
That's
to that.
so interesting. Yeah.
It's weird.
Yeah. Our bodies, our brains, wild.
Yeah. But yeah, I just thought it was interesting. I think to ponder, do your creativity outside, especially now that it's hot, but also then be careful of the sun.
SPF 50 plus.
50 plus. Yeah. So I don't think this is going to come out before the new year, because I've got a backlog from the other episode that I have
That's
to record.
so fun.
Because I was going to ask, I did skip one.
Mm-hmm.
One was going to be, what are your New Year goals, etc.
Ooh.
That's just exciting. But then this will come out probably after that.
That's okay. My New Year goals, I haven't thought about them completely.
Neither have I, really. Yeah.
I'm still thinking about this year. But New Year goals, I always have creative goals, but also personal goals, business goals as well, and something else.
What's your difference between creative and business?
So creative is what am I going to make for myself? And I feel like my goal can't be book the Netflix TV show, because that's not fully in my control. But I could make a short film. I could produce a play. It's all stuff that is predominantly, within my own control. And then business goals would be more to do with, my coaching and stuff.
Okay, I see.
So I have lots of ideas for things I want to do. Maybe some group Zooms.
That's cool.
Especially, I'd love to do a Zoom for new grads specifically, or people who have been in the industry for a while but have kind of been taking a break, or want a good energy boost of momentum. Yeah, especially new grads. I feel like there's so much I wish I knew when I first graduated that I do now, but I had to struggle so much to feel it. And it's just such a big shift, isn't it? From full-time study to being out in the world and being I have to pay rent and work and try and fit in all these auditions, or maybe I'm not getting auditions. Who am I? All that jazz. Yeah, I love working with new grads and stuff. So yeah, I'm excited about that.
That is exciting. And there'll be a lot of new grads
next
year.
Woo. Here for you.
In the spirit of your current favorite, is it your current favorite movie, My Old Ass?
Maybe. I have so many favorites.
Yeah, I feel like my list just... I watched Bambi last night, and I forgot how good that is.
I don't think I've ever seen Bambi.
It's beautiful.
I think it was too scary as a kid when it was probably the time I should have been watching it.
There's scary bits.
I was very timid as a child. I was very scared of everything.
I remember, it always makes me cry. Anyway. Yeah, in the spirit of My Old Ass, what would you say to your younger self?
Oh my gosh, I'll cry. I would say, keep going. You're braver than you think. And I would encourage her to listen to her gut more.
Interesting.
And not do what she thinks she should do, but she should do what she believes is right for her.
I feel like, sorry, now I was going to try to end it there, but now I want to keep going. But the listen to your gut, I always hear that, and it seems so much easier said than done. Mm-hmm. Is that...
I think...
I think I overthink it too much, and I'm like, is that what my gut is saying, or is that what I'm... You know what I mean?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I think I definitely grew up as a people pleaser, like we were talking about before, and kind of just wanting to make everyone else happy, not myself, really. But putting myself first is actually okay sometimes.
Yeah.
Or a lot of the time. And
It's your life.
doing things that serve me. Yeah, and listening to that inner voice and trusting that has been a big thing for me this year at least. But yeah, I'd tell I love inner child stuff. It makes me so emotional.
It's a very good tool, and it's crazy
precious
to think
baby
about.
Madeleine.
Yeah.
She had no idea what was coming. But yeah, keep being kind to yourself, Madeleine.
Definitely. I like that.
That's what I would say.
And what would you say to everyone in regards to your creations and things? What do you want people to... Do you want us to check out your website? Do you want us to sign up to your coaching? What's going on?
Yeah, all of the above. Follow me on Instagram. I love to connect to people. If Even if you just want to say hi in the DMs, that's fine. I have a website. I would love to work with you if you're keen. Lots of fun with my clients, and I think it's always really beneficial. I work with my own coaches as well, and I can see the benefits of like that investment as well, because you're worth it. I'm worth it. We're all worth it. But yeah, check out Bernice as well. And I also have an email list you can sign up to as well if you want to be first to hear all the hot goss. I do post lots of things on social media, but some things are just for the emails. Just for the email list.
Intriguing. I will be joining.
So that's like, I'll talk about Bernice, any other future things I'm up to. And yeah, it's where the hot goss happens first.
Delicious.
So delicious.
Well, thank you so much for joining me today.
You're so welcome.
No, I really appreciate it. I'm glad we got to actually do this. And
Me too.
I like.
You worked
I'm glad I
out.
got to meet you via podcast because I feel like I get to just ask you questions and it's
Yeah,
not,
and
like,
I have
really
to answer
intrusive.
them.
Yeah, exactly. So amazing. Thank you so much. And everybody, hope you're having a good new year or have a good new year. I don't think it's going to be out before the end of the year.
That's fine. Go
So
well.
I hope you're having a good time.
Be kind to yourself.
Follow Madeleine
Go gently.
and
Have fun.
peace be with you.
And also with you.